Hi, Jeff Munn, creating extraordinary futures. This week I want to ask a question. What is power, and how do I get more of it? So the first question seems relatively simple. If you look at physics, it's the capacity to do work, or the actual doing of work over a period of time. What is it? Force times acceleration or something like that, right? This idea that power is our ability to move a certain thing a certain distance in a certain amount of time. And we can use that physical definition, except that what we're talking about, I think, is psychological power. So do I have the power to show up when I'm running a business and have people follow me or follow my instructions? Can I tell someone to do something and they'll do it? Can I say that I'm going to do something and do it and have a result from that? All of those things are ways of looking at power. I do think most people, when I talk to them about power and I ask them about power, they talk about power as something to admire in others and try to emulate for ourselves. So I'm just getting off watching the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs winning for the second year in a row, Patrick Mahomes, the MVP. Lots of examples of power in that football team and the coach and the staff, etc., etc., etc. We think about people like Tony Robbins and the way he shows up and very big, big physically, big psychologically. And we think, I want some of that, and I need to act that way in order to get it. Now, there's only one problem that I can see with that, and that is I'm not Tony Robbins. I suspect you're not Tony Robbins either. So are we really doing ourselves any service if we're trying to exercise power by imitating that power in someone else? And I would argue, no. I want to give you an example in nature. And this distinction is about, is power out there or is power in here? No one would argue that a lion is one of the most powerful creatures there is. And yet, most of the time, according to some stat I read, a lion is sleeping. Lions nap something like 90% of the day. So is that power in the lion something the lion is doing, or the potential for that lion to do something? You're not going to cross a lion even when it's napping, right? So when you think about that from the perspective of your own power, how is it that you are embodying that? What is it that you have the capacity to do at all times, whether or not you're actually doing it? What is your authentic way of being powerful in the world? What does that look like? There are ways of being powerful that are incredibly quiet, incredibly calm, a simple look, truly listening to someone. There are other ways of power that are more boisterous, more Tony Robbins-like. And you have to ask yourself, what is my authentic way of showing power? Where is that authenticity, that power, that innate sense of power? Where does that actually come from? How do I embody it? How do I call on it most accurately, most authentically, most consistently? How do I develop that? How do I improve upon it? How do I get more in touch with it? How do I get out of the way of it? We've all had those times when something in us shows up really powerfully, and we have a choice of whether or not to share it with the world, or to kind of tamp it down and say, I don't want to impose. Take care, and I'll see you next time.